This video is brought to you by CoolstuffInc.com, where you can find cool stuff in stock.
Hello and welcome back to another day in the arena. It's me, it's CGB, and today in the arena we're checking in on the results from a recent Aether Hub tournament. The Aether Hub, one of my sponsors, just put out 2 tournaments yesterday with 64 and 61 participants respectively. I believe first prize was 50,000 gems, or maybe the total prize pool was 50,000 gems. So there are significant stakes for arena players. And Simic Ramp won both tournaments. Oh god. The lists were very close to what I played yesterday, actually, which is kind of exciting to see people landing pretty close to what I did. We see 2 Thassa's, 1 Agent, and 2 Finales, and 3 Grazers, which is something I talked about at the end of yesterday's video. But overall, pretty close. No Nissa, which is stunning and hard for me to get behind. Instead, we have Wicked Wolves and Nylea, which I think might be better against aggro, but I would cut this card, this card, this card, this card for 4 Nissa, and otherwise this exact list looks great. But the list did perform twice very well, and while there might be a meta, yeah, here's the version where basically exactly those cuts and Nissa won the other event. So that's not too exciting. But there is this sweet Sultai graveyard deck played by HG Rose that seems to be about playing Rotting Regisaur, the Great Henge, Cavalier Thorns, and bringing Euros and Polukranos out of the graveyard. So that's what we're going to be messing around with today. I have 2 Polukranos. I do not have 3. I avoid crafting mythics, especially when I'm absolutely sure that I'll love them. So I'm going to quickly replace this Polukranos, and I'm going to add a 3rd Hydroid Krasis because I think that's perfectly fine. Looking into the mana base, there are no Fabled Passage, which I found a bit surprising considering that it adds another card to the graveyard for Polukranos and for Euro to be escaped. Is that how we're going to say it? Escaped? So I want to get some Fabled Passage into the deck. That's about the only other change I'm really looking to make. So for now I'm going to leave it as is, and we'll see what happens. In best of 1, which is much more aggressive, we might get punished having these tap lands in our deck. I think it's interesting that we have the Elysian Caryatid instead of something like a Paradise Druid. This 1/1 plant for 2, I think, even though if you have control a creature power 4 or greater, it can produce 2 mana, I still think this is pretty bad compared to a Paradise Druid because it dies so easily. But we'll give it a try. Let's go play a best of 1 event. For those of you who want to do best of 3, there is a sideboard attached to the deck list that I'm going to upload. The Cry of the Canariums were pretty funny to me. A pretty big hit there. Also Vivian giving your Regisaur trample. But 4 Mystical Disputes, no Aether Gusts, 3 Noxious Grasps, no Duress. It's a very interesting look at a sideboard that I think probably has a lot more room for customization against what you expect to face in the meta. So let's go see if Polukranos and piling up the graveyard is the real deal. Ooh, Grazer with 1 land is not ideal. Very unideal, but we could top deck, hit Euro, hit another land. Where do we go from there? Baby Krasis? All right, I'll try. I'll try it. If there's a land on top of the deck, I'm going to want to cast the Euro anyway. So pay 2 life. Here's my Grazer. Here's the Sportsmanship. And we'll see what happens next in this game. We could definitely stall on lands and die. On the play, it's actually pretty tough to figure out what you're supposed to do with those hands. And here we are. Almost dead. We'll give it another turn or 2. Missing land drops with this deck right away. Tap land. I knew it would get us. I knew the tap land would get us. So again, land is the only acceptable option here. And it looks like the opponent is already curving out on their way to their Gray Merchant. Have at it. Which I mean, it's all a bit redundant, but I love the use of Drill Bit. I think that black aggressive Devotion decks should play Drill Bit more. Especially Best of One, where it's just take their best card so often. Okay, we drew the 4th land. Let's see what Euro reveals. Okay. We're playing lands now, and our opponent didn't Ayara us, so Cavalier of Thorns is ready to get going, which powers up the Euro for next turn, and hopefully from there we keep them on the back foot. There's Rankle. We have to block here, or the opponent just sacrifices one of these. So we have to keep Rankle out of our grill. Cavalier of Thorns is going to try to do that. If the opponent can't remove it, let's go ahead and grab the Castle Garenbrig. There might come a world where we want to use it. We throw Polukranos into the yard. Polukranos escapes for 6. That's so much. But it comes back as a 12/12. And if you have the extra mana, it can fight. We can also stack, if the opponent kills the Cavalier, we can stack up a Krasis. Here's an Oven. Strider. Alright, they've got a bunch of good pieces. Do they keep attacking? You might want to attack with these smaller creatures just to force damage. I don't think you want to throw Rankle into the Cavalier, though. Okay. Well, do what you gotta do. Opponent has chosen that their line is aggressive. That might mean it's a little bit of a signal that they might have another Rankle in hand. To the bottom. I do like Rankle over Nightmare Shepherd in the aggressive deck, but I don't like Woe Strider over Spawn of Mayhem in that deck, so the opponent's kind of in the middle of what I would recommend. So here, we can Cavalier of Thorns and Euro, I think, and either play this one, or if we hit an untapped land, play the bigger one. Green, black. I think we want to leave up a breeding pool. Do I have a choice? This pays the cost of creatures, so I can escape with this, right? Activate abilities of creatures. This is a cost, but I guess it's a cast, right? So I can do this? I think I can do this. Let's grab a blue if we get the choice, just to be sure. Okay. Man, if I knew whether or not this would work, I would feel a lot better. Yep. The Titans are here. One, two, three. 3 black pips, so 6 total. And can we attack? It's a really bad block because of the goat. The goat just blocks, chumps, scry, plus cat. Yeah, cat is another reason we can't really do it. They just block with the cat. We don't want that. But my god, do we have big creatures ready to swing next turn. My god, man. And we are at a point where we can bring back Polukranos and fight something. Or just play a dinosaur. For the love of God, the size of these things. Enforcer. Does this say prevent that damage? Prevent that damage. So it can fight the Orzhov Enforcer without costing us Death Touch. Is that the play? We don't have enough cards in the graveyard for that. I guess we want to make some trades then. What's the card we would put on top with our Cavalier? Hydroid Krasis for sure. Let's lead with this. Oh no, wait, no, you're legendary. That's not a great idea. I guess I still get the triggers though. I guess I can play all of this, really. All of it. I'll just start out like this. The opponent can do some cat oven shenanigans. But let's send some creatures. At least make it not totally obvious what they should do. Oh, this world is gonna shake. Alright. You want to give me a Hydroid Crisis on top of my deck? Opponent says, sure. I would love to do that. Alright. I'll take it. The opponent does have 4 scries, possibly 5, to try to find the right card. I just don't know what that is. So you're not a forest, you're not a forest. You can make a bunch of green mana to cast my stuff, but I don't think that's going to be important. You're not a forest. Here she comes. Do I want to discard this next turn? If I draw the Hydroid Crisis, like I could draw the Crisis now and play it for a bunch. But having double Dino seems really good. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 point Crisis. But the Crisis next turn can be so good. We can afford to discard this, it's fine. Everything here is fine. Yeah, the dinosaurs are going to make us discard, so we don't want to play this for the trigger. And that is an absurd amount of power and toughness. So the opponent's going to start scrying. Where do you even begin? What do you need? You need Bolas's Citadel and to line up a bunch of Gray Merchants, right? That's the play you need. You have another Knight of the Ebon Legion. Resolve that. Add it up, baby. Six. 6 plus 6 is 12. I could untap and do more. I think 12 is plenty. And the opponent even knows it's coming. It's gotta be painful. Alright. Alright, let's try to make our opponent deal with us. We can pay 2 life for this if we want to, so we'll give that a minute. I guess it all depends on what's alive after this attack. Here come the blocks. But yeah, we need to keep chunking the opponent's life. If we don't do that, a Bolas's Citadel would let them go really fast, really deep, and hitting their life total a little bit helps. And it looks like their plan is to defend that life total with all they've got. So they definitely have effects they can do. They can now use their Woe Strider to do some scrying. I don't know if there's something I want to stick on top of the deck. I might want the Cavalier of Thorns in the graveyard, to be honest. So what would I like to draw next turn? I guess drawing Pelucranos is fine, but we can escape it too, but maybe drawing it's fine too. It's not like I have a million ways to gain life here or something. And if it gets milled somehow, that's fine. So I still have my Euro. I could pay 2 life to draw a card, be up 1 life, but I don't think it's worth it. We'll just play this little dorky plant which I can't believe is in this deck. And I'll save my Scryland till I can scry away something I don't want. Right now, I'm perfectly happy with what's on top, so we'll drop that off. We'll discard these if the dinosaurs live. And see what the opponent can do. They have lost their board. There is an obscene amount of power and toughness. It would be truly an epic comeback, and Archimedes is flipping. We have Grazer into Regisaur. Could be good. We need to have another land on top of that for Tameo or a Voracious Hydra. But yeah, it's a keeper. It all depends how good this dinosaur is, but I think this deck is pretty stacked against aggro when it plays the 7/6 on the play on turn 2. Yeah, that's good. That's nice. If the dino lives, that's real nice. What's Gruul gonna do about this? What on earth do they do? Hi there. It's the Regisaur. It's a dinosaur. If we draw land off the top, do we discard the Hydra or the Tameo? If we draw land off the top, we can play the Tameo and the Henge. I'm gonna be greedy. Yes. We don't actually want anything in our hand, we just have to discard it. But what could I play at instant speed? I don't think there's anything. Yeah, I think we just want to mill. So it doesn't really matter. I guess our Regisaur could die somehow in a way that I'm not thinking of. Let's go for Cavalier of Thorns. Euros in the yard. Send a big message. Sure. I think getting aggressive makes this really hard for our opponent. We can start pressuring their life total, then they have to start holding back, plus we're gaining all this card advantage. Like, this is nuts. This is turn 3. This is my turn 3, everybody. Lock it in. Empty-handed, but turn 3. Yeah, we'll block. I don't think you can take out the Grazer and the Tameo. And stomp. You did it. That is a thing. Discard. Nothing to discard. Remember, this is in the graveyard. Oh, we did draw another Henge. We can Henge into Henge just for the life. It's pretty saucy. We can't do this yet, but once we throw another card in the graveyard, we can. We could get back Nissa. Here, Nissa's a card. All right, come on out, Nissa. Let's shake the world together. Wait, do I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Read it. 5 other cards. Okay, I do have it. So we can go plus, get that, bring you back. We can't attack first because we had to float the mana. Oh my god. What is happening? What is happening? Do you like big monsters? All right, let's hold this so that we can play a Cavalier next turn. And let's keep sending a message. This is epic. These creatures are so huge. And we're drawing so many cards and gaining so much value and playing the most broken card. This is delightful. I've seen the future, and the future is huge. The future is giant. Let's find a Hydroid Krasis, because that would be funny. Another Euro in the board in the graveyard is okay. Play you. Just keep it coming. Another Forest is fine. I might be able to get another Euro out of this, but I don't think it's even necessary. Pelucranos? Oh god. Can I get that too? I think I can. Oh my good lord. My good lord. Why? This is not okay. It's a 12-12! I have a plant too. Behold this 1-1. Put that onto the battlefield. We can still play this Grazer. Is this any color? 2 mana of any one color. Okay. Why not? It's free. So if I had stacked the triggers differently, I could have put this into play, but I don't want to because of Regisaur. It's just overkill at this point, but what the hell? Sure. Our opponent makes their stand. How much BM should I do? If they block here, they still take 7. Yeah, they're still very dead. No BM necessary this time. We're at 31 life, too. And a Krasis. Holy high roll. If anybody wants to do me a favor, do the math on keeping a 2-lander with 26 lands in my deck and missing my 3rd land drop on the draw for the 3rd time, if you want extra credit, in an event. What are the odds? Let's keep it because we have Regisaur into Henge, but it's pretty slow. Okay, we're doing this again. Nope. Will we be fast enough? Without a Grazer, it's not looking great. Yep, always the nuts, huh? Always the nuts. Heliod? High roll me part 3. Linden? Linden's scary. What's really going to matter now is if the opponent can remove the Regisaur. Doesn't get much better, does it? Wow. Mopey. see what we can do. Your go. We didn't roll over and die that turn. We still have some huge primates to scrap with. Are we holding back the little one? I think you can gain enough life that I can't block it effectively. Yeah, I have to block both. It's a really silly... It would be absolutely silly not to attack with everything here. It would be the dumbest move possible is what it would be. Bang, bang, bang. I mean, I know I can get on the board. So what is this? I'm taking 6 that I couldn't block like that turn. I'm gaining 2. I have to chump these every single turn. The opponent's adding another 1. Can we get out of it? Probably starts with Nissa, right? Then we have to bring back Euro. How do we do all that? I don't think we can. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I guess if I hit a forest off this, I can. But then I'm using the mana anyway. All right. We go for it. We go for it. Uh-huh.
We will not fail.
We will not fail, she says. What if I'm going to fail? What if I'm destined to fail here? How do I... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I want to leave a blue in my mana pool, I guess? I might need to double tap this. But I can't. So I need to find another blue source is how it has to go. Well, that's blue. Don't think I can gain enough life to get out of it now. I think that cost me too much. Not enough, right? Block, block, die. So the pain lands and the tap lands like crush me here. Absolutely crush me. Absolutely crushed me. Fabled Passage, man. What I would have given for a Fabled Passage in this spot. Oh my god. What I would have given. Do the thing. It's cool. The people want to see it. Again? Again with the two-lander. I learned. Can't keep them. It's too bad. No black source yet, unless we count this. I guess I should try to do better. I can't play Regisaur with it next turn. And I have a lot of land this time. I have to play the Caryatid. Okay. Let's just get going. Let's just get straight to Dino Town. Next turn we'll discard the Caryatid, play the other Regisaur, play the Vantress, be probably empty-handed. It depends, we might draw something else, but we might just roll this empty-handed. So what do you got, opponent? Blue-blue. Blue-blue-white. Rude. That seems really, really bad for my hand, the way it is. Like, that seems like a blowout. Die. Like, they have instant speed shatter the sky now? Just disgusting. We have an easy discard in the Voracious Hydra. It's absolutely useless here. Euro's okay. Let's see if the opponent has something for this. Gideon's Triumph, right? Nothing for this. Well, I can't hold back. If you want to counter it, go ahead. Now you shatter? Weird. I'll take it. I guess they are like, yeah, I should have done that last turn. If we Euro into a land, we can do both, or we can just hold the Euro, discard it next turn, and get it back, which I think is fine. They just drew that Shatter the Sky, I believe, so making them respect another big monster seems good. And this time, their Teferi Time Raveler is killed by a Caryatid. We could double Dino, but if the opponent has a Wrath, that was such a blowout, I can't really afford it. And the opponent pretty much has to keep stopping the Regisaurs. Is this all 4 dinos again? That's the second time in this event. Like, this game defies logic. It absolutely defies logic. Like, nothing makes sense. Nothing that's going on here makes any sense at all. Not to mention, I do not draw land when I want them, ever. We can't give up an instant speed shatter the sky. The tempo loss is just too much. Let's go ahead and play some of these. Hopefully the opponent's out of Teferis now. They've only drawn 3. This one doesn't make me discard, so we can make the opponent figure out how to deal. And they're just going to trawl up. Interesting. And they're going to taunt button me. Sure. What you got? Wall down. So what else do we play? What we're going to do is we're going to fight the Dream Trawler. And the opponent's going to give it hexproof. And then I'm going to fight it again, and the opponent's going to give it hexproof. So that makes them discard 2 cards, and they have to tap their Dream Trawler. I'm wondering if I should also spend some mana on, say, a Rotting Regisaur. I think I should. I think I should be satisfied to make them tap it once. Now what am I going to discard? The Euro? The Euro, probably. Remember, they don't get any life from this either. Don't forget that preemptive GG. The second they cast the Dream Trawler, they GG'd me. Let's see how that works out. Uh-huh. Actually, wow. I'm pretty surprised. You would think that would be one of the best things they could do. But as long as I have Pelucranos, I can keep it tapped down. Let's see if the opponent has a way to deal with the Pelucranos. They've only played one Shatter the Sky. That's usually their best way. Teferi is really good, but they've played 3. That's obnoxious. But we can kill it. Elspeth Conquers Death is a good way to do it. So next turn we need to be able to use this multiple times. Oh my god. They drew 3 of them. All 4 Teferis. How does this game do this? How the heck does this game exist? Alright, tough discard choices. We don't want this exiled, but I don't think I have a way around it. Okay. Well, Elspeth Who Conquers Death might target the Nissa, but the Dream Trawler can kill it. No, see. We need a black, and then we need a black open. I don't think I can do 7, right? It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I need this, and I play this, and I untap this, and then I go black, black, and blue. No, I won't have enough to Pelucranos as well. Or I can, but it can't fight, which is what's important for keeping back the Dream Trawler. One, 2, 3, 4. Maybe we just bring back the Euro? I don't have the mana for that. I guess I could always discard this. If the opponent doesn't Shatter the Sky here, they take a lot. It's a beating. I don't want this exiled. The opponent might be able to kill Nissa, but they probably can't play Elspeth Who Conquers Death, kill Nissa, and do this, so... But this getting exiled means I really can't solve the Dream Trawler, so we'll put out the Regisaur instead. All the dino. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I can still play this and fight Dream Trawler if they kill Nissa, if that's all they do. Target? Yep. Okay. What else? Only 2 mana left over. Pelucranos can lock down the Trawler for next turn, so we hit the opponent hella hard. They're gonna go to 30 though. 30 frickin' life? It's so much. Why? And this is 14, 15, 16, 17. What an absurd game. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That doesn't lock it down, does it? But it's a big blocker. Okay, why didn't you do that on your turn? You could have had an extra life for your Dream Trawler. I mean, if you were trying to just make me think, I think you have to do better. It's not like I'm gonna get off this play. I don't like that. I play a lot of blue-white, okay? I can't help myself but try to figure out what blue-white should do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we know they're out of Teferis until Elspeth brings one back next turn. Oh my god. So, if the opponent doesn't clear this board, I should be able to win anyway. So I could play this land because I expect the Rotting Regisaurs to be dead. Because if they don't shatter the sky, I'm just going to win. And if they shatter the sky this turn, then they can get their Dream Trawler back next turn. So I expect that's what they want to do. So let's play out our land. And let's put another land to the bottom. I see you. I see you. Now, if the opponent, they chose life there because they would have drawn an extra card if they had shattered first before attacking. So they chose to gain the life. Let's see how that works. If they run out of gas, there could be regrets. All right, what's our play? 5/5 Krasis. Euro can come back and try to rev up the Krasis. The opponent has absorb mana. And 5/5 does contest the Trawler, so yeah, let's do that. We gotta get their absorbs if we can. We have to contest this Krasis over and over. Or not this Krasis, but this Trawler. It's never gonna stop being a problem. If we had played it for 4, they could just let that resolve, you know what I mean? And ignore it, because Trawler would be better. A 4/5 attacker with lifelink. Our Krasis wouldn't matter, so we had to do it for 5 and make them have the absorb. And now hopefully Pelucranos can give this a hard time. Hopefully. More bad Narsets. And Narset's fine. Uh-oh. Well, I have 2. So let's see if this resolves. I should have tapped differently so I could bring back Euro if I wanted to, but I think I need the graveyard for Pelucranos anyway, so no, that would have been a bad idea. I still should have left another green open if I want to play my Caryatid. Do you have another absorb? Come on. You draw 4 Teferis. Like, what more could you ask for in life? Alright. It's here. I think I play this and draw cards. We're at 12. No, I can't draw cards because I need to use the activation. And we want to use that on the upkeep before the opponent sees more cards. So I could play a Grazer to have another blocker, but then I can't play anything else, so yeah, it's Temple. It's Temple. It's Temple. Another Euro. Don't think we need you. Think we need better. So they have the Temple, they can also activate the Castle. I like the Castle a lot. I think a 1/1 could make a difference here, protecting Narset. Let's see what they do. Yep. Good choice. Upkeep. Let's fight. Fight me. So the opponent has to discard to hexproof the Trawler, which means the fight doesn't happen, which means my Pelucranos stays a powerful 6/6. And they discard another Trawler. Are you just on 4 Trawlers? I see 3. It's more than normal. I guess our opponent knows what they like. Now they're going to play Elspeth Conquers Death. They're going to exile the Pelucranos. I'm going to bring back another Pelucranos. It's going to fight. This Elspeth is eventually going to get another Trawler, and unfortunately we're going to lose. I like beating people who GG me just because they played a card, but it looks like in this case they're going to be right. I'm not sure how I could get out of it. It seems like their deck is built for a very, very long game, and mine isn't quite prepared. I guess Great Henge drawing a bunch of cards is one way. It's kind of weird that we've gone half our deck without Cavalier or Great Henge, while our opponent's drawn 4 Teferis and 3 Dream Trawlers and 2 Elspeth Conquers Death. There's Absorb. Drawing with Castle isn't really an option against Narset, and we need to stay alive. Yep, the opponent's being aggressive. I like it. Good choice. Although, you could have saved that for Krasis. Krasis is one way I can almost paw back into the game, but this Narset definitely reduces its effectiveness. This all-in Dream Trawler version of the deck is great if the opponent is not interacting with Elspeth Conquers Death or the Dream Trawler. This deck doesn't really do that job well, so it lines up really well against me here. Can't bring this back anyway, so I guess this is the play. Is it the 4th Absorb? I mean, their draw's been amazing as it is. They don't need to pile that on me, do they? Alright, so what are we doing? If we bring back the Polukranos, we need 6 mana. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So getting an untapped land doesn't let us also fight with the card, which is what we really need. So I guess we don't get an untapped land this time. We could also bring back Euro now and Polukranos next turn, but we're running a little low on the graveyard fodder. And what's this gonna do? And how do... yeah, let's just get the U back right now. Cavalier of Thorns can get a big Hydroid Krasis. It's not the end, but the opponent only needs to remove this Cavalier of Thorns to win. So let's see if they have the means. Now, if we had gotten back Euro, we could have gained some life so that clearing the Cavalier of Thorns wouldn't necessarily end the game, but the opponent in that case would need to draw 2 cards to do it. Interesting. So I guess they can also make a 1/1 here. I do like them prioritizing 1/1s over scrying. That's been a thing more and more often. So if they had gotten back a Teferi, they win the game. I had a feeling they'd want a Dream Trawler really badly. Now let's see if they still have a way to win the game here, or if they were blinded by the light. That'll do. I guess we have to let them choose, and they do. Ah, that was an epic showdown, I'd say. I love blue-white. All right. So we finished at 3-3. It was so quick to a 3-0. The last 3 games were really bad. Mana screwed against white, then just steamrolled by white on the play on a god draw, and then a tough matchup with blue-white where we couldn't interact. I think the mana base cost me in so many spots with this deck. So for those of you sticking around, let's improve it. This is my first run with it, just to be clear, as I just saw the deck lists. Man, I do feel like we had some bad draws too. I know I say that pretty often, but it's true. Sometimes you just get ugly draws. I don't think this card was very good. I don't think this card proved its worth compared to a Paradise Druid. It just doesn't hold the board the same way. It's cute. The biggest problem is we weren't drawing land. The mana base to me needs work. I don't like the castles. I think the castles can go. Their usefulness was really low. I can still get into Evantris, but I want more basics, and I want the Scrylands mostly out of the deck. Nothing here requires double black, so it seems like it should be easier. Nothing requires double blue either. But yeah, way too many tap lands. And maybe I just need, maybe I quite honestly need to run more land in general than 26. I hope not. I hope not. What would I do? This is a cute card, like I said. I just don't know if it's worth it. I guess it's really sweet to curve this into Regisaur and play Henge the same turn is amazing. I found the Voracious Hydra really not good. I didn't play this a single time where it helped. So when I'm looking at the deck, I feel like I need to interact. I need to be able to beat some Dream Trawlers, and I need to be able to get on the board faster. The mana being better will be a good step in that direction. I love the Tamios, but this is the card I don't think I can run. And a card I think I want to run, or at least try, against these Dream Trawlers is Liliana, the Dreadhorde General, because you can get her back with Cavalier of Thorns, you can fetch her with Tameo, and then you can bring her out and just make people sacrifice this stuff, and we can sacrifice our Grazers and things like that and draw cards. I think she's pretty strong. She doesn't go with everything in the deck, but I think she could be good. And then the other thing, I just want all the Nissas. Maybe we get that last Pelucranos in here instead, but I think all the Nissas, it's always your best draw. If you have it early or you ramp into it, you feel invincible. So either that or another Pelucranos or Euro if you already have the wild cards. And it is a lot of 5-drops, so that scares me, but it's also a ramp deck, so maybe it's exactly what we're supposed to be doing. Yeah, the last spot being the last Pelucranos makes a lot of sense. Okay. Anyway, that's where I'll leave the deck for now. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm really curious to see if Sultai Dredge can step up and be a contender in the future of Standard. And congratulations to the original pilot for their second place finish in the Aether Hub tournament. I hope they got a prize for that. And I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye.